According to commentator Lee Muyong, a person claiming to have inside knowledge posted on Douyin, describing the scene in shocking detail. The post said, "You think calling it cruel does it justice? The online rumors don't even come close to what I already know. I knew about this early on and never wavered. They beat and tortured him. That's nothing. They had full control over Menglong long before that." Then came a terrifying line. Everything below was while he was still alive. His face was no longer recognizable. Fingernails removed, teeth removed, hair removed. The lower parts were severely damaged, limbs broken, vital organs were taken. Other organs, not sure which, because human models need to be hollow. The rest was sold on the black market. Some sold the flesh, some sold the recordings. Everything was cleaned up, no trace left. That's why the body no longer exists. Those online videos showing men carrying someone, those weren't rescues. They were Menglong's remains being moved. He was forced to drink alcohol and take drugs. By then, there wasn't much left. When creating human models and injecting preservatives, it must be done while the victim is still alive. That's when the organs are considered most valuable. But Menglong endured until the very end. During the second hanging from the window, his hands broke. Another post mentioned a restaurant video. There's a video filmed in a restaurant. Many foreigners were there, praising the dishes as sweet, premium, and excellent. Menglong was nearby. They were choosing. These are things no normal person could ever imagine. That same night, the extracted parts were sent abroad. At that point, the identity of the person who posted it could not be verified. But based on the information, it's clear that this person must have had direct knowledge, perhaps one of those involved, or maybe a neighbor, a property staff member, or a police officer connected to the case. From earlier online reports, we already knew Menglong had been beaten, injected with drugs, assaulted, and tortured. That alone was unbearable. But these new details break through every limit of human conscience. These people, they're not human, they're monsters. Commentator Lee said those monsters were only the executioners. They acted under orders from their masters, the big bosses, and behind them all, the CCP itself. It's beyond shocking. How Keanu Media planned Menglong's end. The whistleblower also revealed that Menglong had been completely under control for a long time. This forces us to look back and examine a series of suspicious details. First, over the years, every time Menglong filmed, he suffered accidents and injuries of all kinds, sometimes minor, sometimes serious. Each time, people thought it was just bad luck. For an actor, small injuries on set can happen, and once or twice, we can call that coincidence. But if every shoot ends in injury, can that still be called coincidence? Second, the company forced him to go on so-called diets to maintain his image, which later led to serious health problems and even required surgery. For an artist to stay fit is understandable. But when dieting causes illness and surgery, is that still a diet? Third, according to commentator Lee Muyong, Yu's family has never given up. They continue to fight in their own way, even under heavy suppression, especially in Xinjiang, where the pressure is even harsher than in Beijing. The reason is the CCP has always ruled Xinjiang with an iron hand, and local officials often treat violence against the people as a stepping stone to climb into the central ranks. When the incident happened, Lee revealed that someone from within the circle tried to save Menglong but didn't make it in time. Who that person was remains under investigation. Police had also arrived at the scene but were persuaded to leave. All of this shows one thing. The perpetrators had powerful protection, deep backing strong enough to influence police action. When you put all the pieces together, the repeated injuries on set, the forced starvation that led to illness, the brutal abuse inside the secret room, and finally the day Yu was killed, it becomes clear that Tianyu Company had planned it all long ago. This was a deliberate, premeditated murder. And what makes it even more tragic is that everyone around Tianyu Media knew, except Yu himself. And behind it lies a massive protective shield, the CCP's top leadership, directing a well-coordinated, systematic web of crimes. Lin Beichuan calls on veterans to rise and expose the truth behind the Menglong case. One more breaking update. The main account of Lin Beichuan, who identifies himself as a red descendant of the CCP elite, has been banned after his verified status as a veteran was revoked. Authorities no longer allow him to use that identity. In his October 30th post on Weibo, he stated that he might no longer be able to speak as freely as before. In addition, sources reveal that Lin previously was summoned back to Beijing for interrogation because he continuously spoke out for Menglong. He was ordered to remain silent, yet he has refused to stop speaking out. Earlier, Lin had publicly reported Wang Xiaohong under his real name, and now he has issued a powerful call, urging veterans to stand up, report, and apply pressure from above so that the truth can come to light. A move that means direct confrontation with the CCP. In his post, Lin emphasized that only the military can restrain the government, and that true balance can exist only when the military and government hold each other in check. In response, some veterans have already answered his call. A friend of commentator Li inside China told him that Weibo has exploded. Users are reposting and tagging Lin Beichuan, spreading his message across the platform. Lin once said, "Everything that gets deleted instantly, that's the truth."